Okay, so once you get to this room, basically a double, I'm sure everyone's aware. You just have to flame both chests. So when I run into this room, yeah, around here is where I start my flame, kind of like this line right here. Because then once you kind of run into this angle, you have full view of both chests, and I like flame running into them. Like that. You could probably even do it a little bit earlier, but like typically you approach that really quick. And both gems kind of pop out almost at the same time. So since they're so close, you can actually just do it in one hop, because then as you're full hopping, Spyro holds his time in the air quite a bit. He holds that same position in the air for a couple seconds, long enough for both of those gems to like, you know, you can like touch both gems while they're in the air. These boxes are also very close together, so you can most likely do it in one full hop regardless. But when they're much farther apart, then your timing has to change a little bit depending on where they are. So for these two chests, once you just run up here and around this point, you just flame both of them, you can just full hop into them. I messed up there, of course, as I'm explaining, but because as you saw there, you let the gem drop a little bit, its position changes in relation to Spyro. So you actually want to jump as soon as you flame them because they're both in the air next to each other. So you unlock this chest, all the gems will pop up. You can just walk into the middle area. You should collect all of them. But as you're collecting them, you want to start turning your camera already. So the gems are still flying out. Turn your camera so you can walk around and like double these two from this side. Like that. And as you can see here, the left one, since you flamed it first, it's higher than the one on the right. If you're too slow, you can see that they switch because the left one will start falling before the right one. But if they're still in the position where one is higher than the other, the left one's higher than the other, you can actually charge through them. Because when Spyro charges, he moves in like a downward angle really quickly. So you kind of just follow that line where you start up high for the left one, you charge down to the next one. If you're too slow, then the right one will be higher, so you'll actually miss with the charge. But you want them to be kind of in that position where the right side is lower than the left, and you can charge into it. It actually already started falling there, but I was already on the way up underneath the left gem. But that's about the general timing. It's a lot more noticeable again when the gems are like farther apart. So let me show you. How I at least approach this triple is, I'm pretty sure this is normal how to do it. You run off to the side. You don't want it to run directly at the triple unless you're just doing like the short hop method, which I started with before too, and a lot of runners still do it that way. I actually don't know which one's faster. Sky told me that the triple is just faster in general because you get all of them in quick succession. But you want to run off to the side here instead of directly at them, because then you can turn left and you can actually face both gems here. They're in the open. So as you can see, the timing when this left gem like starts dropping and you collecting it will be a lot more delayed, and the other gem will be a lot higher. So you don't want to charge to that because you'll be too low. You actually want to full hop and then glide into it to delay your like time in the air. Again, if you're just charging, you'll fall really quickly. If you delay your jump, you get a lot more hang time, and then you can glide through it and still maintain a lot of height by gliding. So for these two, you actually want to full hop and then charge glide into this one, and you should actually just land on top of this one and be able to like mash flame. So you can collect it and flop off of it because you're on top of it. It's kind of like a flame short hop, but instead of like short hopping onto it, you're just gliding onto it and then you flop off of it. You can, if you have like the correct timing as well, you can actually flame and charge out of it, but that's really tight timing. It's kind of hard to do. I don't really do that. I prefer the flop. Now, again, with the timing for the charge, as I told you, there is like the descend here where Spyro drops. So if you somehow happen to flame the second chest only, and you can actually react to that, right? Like that chest is already out. You can actually turn and mash your flame to this one, So now they switched positions. The right chest has the gem lower, and the left chest has the gem higher, which I explained is like the trajectory of your charge. So instead of full hop and charging through it, you can actually jump and then charge through the top one and descend into the second. That's like a little reaction thing if you notice you hit the wrong chest. I do it more often in the other triple because, again, I short hop the first chest there and then I do the second double, so I don't bonk into like a later thing. But you can actually do that instead if you mess up. I don't know if I can just demonstrate that here really well. I'll actually demonstrate the glide version here first. Let me save state this for you. I wonder what I should save state over. What is this? I'll save state over this. I don't know what the heck that is. So here, again, so it's going to be kind of like moving upwards. You want to maintain as much height as possible. You're going to full hop and then glide. And then you can flop into that if I did that properly. You just want to glide on top of this chest. So when you kind of like at this height, you can like flame it and flop off of it. For the next two, yeah, I'm trying to alternate my strat so I actually flame these two and do again the same thing, full hop charge glide and then flop off of that. But typically I like short hop this one and then I flame these two instead. Sometimes when you're like short hop flaming the first one, for some reason your flame is like a little low and it actually moves over this green gem and hits that blue one really quick. So this is where that reaction I was talking about comes in. You'll accidentally flame like the second one first at this one, and that's when you can jump and charge through them instead, using that descending trajectory. Let me see if I can set that up somehow. It's actually kind of hard. Like that. So as the other one's up higher and the other one's actually lower, you can just charge through them and just follow that pathing. And that's how you do your... At least that's how I do my triples. I feel like there's another charge method that I really don't understand. I actually don't know if it's real because I don't really see anyone doing it. But let's see if we can actually replicate all of the run here. Yeah, so you want to glide through that and you flame as you're descending into it. Just land on top of it as the jump's popping out. Then I short hop this first one. And then you want to land off to the right here, similar to the chest outside. You want to land to the right so you can see both of them clearly. And you can just glide through them, or depending on which one you hit first, you can just charge through them. But yeah, that's like the Dry Canyon double or triples.